Australia's medicine regulator has approved Pfizer booster shots for those over 18. The approval paves the way for the government now to roll out third doses of vaccine from November, beginning with aged care residents. Booster shots will be administered at least 6 months after a second dose. With me now is the Health Minister, Greg Hunt. Thanks so much for your time. Booster shots approved. You're confident, no supply constraints. Will the rollout be smoother and faster than the first doses now?
Look, we're very well prepared. We have adequate doses in the country now to make sure that every Australian who wants to be vaccinated with first or second doses could achieve that 100% on the advice that Lieutenant General Fruin has given. We have strong supplies through the coming months, and we're in a position to just keep the program going. And so those that from November the 8th will have been 6 months since their second dose will be eligible for a booster shot. And a booster shot is, as Professor John Skerritt, the head of the TGA, was saying, just that. It increases the immune resistance and immune capability. So we're freshly vaccinated, we're highly vaccinated, and we'll be one of the first countries in the world to have a full national whole-of-population booster program.
And kids 5 to 11 should be getting doses soon, you would think. How soon should we expect it, parents around the country, for young ones, under 11, under 12, I should say, to receive a jab?
So 3 steps on this, and I won't put a time on it respectfully, because that will depend on, firstly, the company completing its submission program. That's Pfizer. We also know that Moderna may put forward a submission for paediatric doses or children's doses. Secondly, the TGA, or the Therapeutic Goods Administration, has to assess it. And thirdly, the advisory body, the Australian Technical Advisory Group on Immunisation, or ATAGI, has to make their recommendations. So it's an important, serious task assessing a vaccine, any vaccine for children, and so they'll do that thoroughly, but as quickly as possible. But we have the doses, we have the supply, and if they recommend, as we did with 12 to 15-year-olds, we just continue to roll straight on.
How do you reflect on the argument, I'm sure you've heard it, in relation to developed, well-off countries? We're one of the wealthiest nations in the world, that we're going for boosters when a lot of poor countries haven't even had their first dose. How do you reflect on that?
Well, look, I do respect the argument, but our approach has been to ensure that we're sharing doses with the world. We have 50 million AstraZeneca, and pretty much everything from here on in will be shared with the Asia-Pacific, in particular Pacific nations such as Fiji, which has built its program in large measure off the back of the Australian CSL-produced AstraZeneca. We're supporting PNG, other Pacific nations, Vietnam, Indonesia, and so we're providing over 60 million doses all up to other nations within the region. If we have spare capacity, we will of course be assisting them over and above that 60 million, and we're contributing over $500 million. Okay. So it's a deep, profound responsibility, and Fiji is in a vastly better position today precisely because of that Australian production.